The letter from a group called the Concerned Citizens in the St. Judes Hospital Fire Disaster Zone is unsigned. It was copied to a number of persons, including the Prime Minister and the Chief Medical Officer. It has as its subject health hazard in the south and highlights 7 areas that need urgent attention to safeguard the hundreds of lives of community residents at stake. The group says residents around the St. Jude Hospital are in danger from asbestos and other hazardous chemicals that may be contained in the building. The Caribbean Environmental Health Institute has already confirmed the presence of asbestos at the site. In fact, confirmation of the danger of the site initially came from the Ministry of Health immediately after the fire. It was one of the reasons the area was cordoned from the general public. Furthermore, Sehi was brought on board by the ministry to ensure people working at the site were protected from potential health hazards.
The roofing at St. Jude's contains, which is concrete slabs, contains some asbestos materials. So particular care has to be taken by the persons involved in asbestos removal to ensure that they're well protected by wearing proper overalls, N91 respirators, boots, gloves, and so on. And that is going to be supervised by us to ensure that those procedures are followed.
The acting Labour Commissioner, like the group, has also expressed concern over the welfare of workers at the medical complex. Gregor Brathwaite has called for protective gear to be used for all people working at the site, a call Dr. Aquing says is a priority for her team in VA4.
My understanding is that there's some asbestos laying on the ground. I hope that the persons who will be handling the material are well informed, that they wear proper protective gear and protective clothing, that they are furnished with respiratory appliances, and that the material is disposed of in a proper and safe manner.
Bearing in mind that St. Jude's is an fairly old building, certain kinds of materials that would have been used, and when fire, of course, gets to certain kinds of materials, it can produce in some instances dioxins and furans, which again can be hazardous to human health. So the approach that we are advocating is a thorough, holistic approach, ensuring that we, from the very outset, that these things are well managed, that the persons who are doing the cleanup operations are well briefed and trained, and that they supervise well to the point of the actual disposal of these materials, so that at the end of the day we minimize whatever kinds of risks there might be in terms of the health aspects for the persons who are involved.
The group spoke less about the hazardous materials and more about tests that needed to be completed to ensure the safety of residents who live around the hospital. They also berated the government for not performing air safety checks and for not moving fast enough to evacuate people who may be infected by the materials from St. Jude's. The parliamentary representative for VA4 South has called for an investigation into the issues highlighted in the letter. Carmi Joseph, HTS News, Channel 4.